Hi, and thank you for joining me at First Call Restoration. I am doing this video so that I can kind of help you through the process of how we really determine what needs to be done on a water job, or as insurance, we refer to it as mitigation. First, we always follow the S500. It's the IIC S500 guidelines for water mitigation. So we start there. In the IICRC, they do talk about categories of water. And what I wanted to go over with you are those categories, because so many times people are like, well, gee, why are you removing the carpet, or why are you only removing the pad? Can't you just leave it? So this will kind of help you understand really why we do what we do. So like I said, the IIC S500 goes over categories of water. This helps us determine how we're going to handle that water job. For example, a category 1, that is where you're going to have the cleanest water. So it may, we're looking at where did the source of water come from. So it's a clean line, a water break. So it is basically a supply line that may be coming into a sink, or it may be the supply line into a dishwasher or a washing machine. So we're looking at where was that source of water? How long did it sit the water? These are things that are very important so that we can categorize the water. So if it's only been a few hours, even throughout the day, you left for work, you come home, and now you have water. If it's a supply line, and it's only been since you've been away at work, and the structure was clean, that the water is pooling in, we would consider that a category 1. Because those categories, what we're looking for is what's the source of the water. We're looking at time and temperature, and we're looking at the cleanliness of the structure. Those 3 are the main components in what we're looking at to really categorize the water. If we're moving on to a Cat 2 water loss, again, your source of water is not going to be that clean line. It could be a washing machine that's filled with detergent. It could be an aquarium that broke. Those types of source of waters would be considered a category 2. And again, we're looking at time and temperature. If you even had a category 1 that sat for days, it's going to turn into a category 2. So the differences even between those 2 categories is in a category 1, if you have carpet and pad, we're going to now dry the carpet and pad out. If you're in a category 2, that carpet and pad, we're going to remove the wet padding and dry the carpet out. So as you can see, as the category changes, we have to change how we're going to really handle it and deal with that water. But in a category 2, besides just that source of water, now we have some contaminants in it, and it becomes an irritant as far as health. So they do say the Cat 2, it's a potential to cause discomfort or sickness. So, we're looking at that. And again, the next thing is time and temperature. How long has it been sitting? What's that humidity in there? What's the relative humidity? Because that's also, like I said, an important factor in determining categories. In a category 2, you're going to see, because there are contaminants, we're going to handle it a little bit differently. We're definitely going to wear a PPE. And PPE is just personal protection equipment. And this is really protecting our technicians from any possible contaminants. So we're doing that. You may see containment put up, depending on how the water kind of spread out, what's been affected within the room. Because if it's just a small corner of the room's been affected, it doesn't make sense that, we really need to dry a whole room out. So now what we're doing is we're setting up containment for 2 purposes. One, to isolate any contaminants, but also to create a drying chamber. It just doesn't make sense to put all this equipment to dry a whole room when you only have one section of the room that really was affected. So there's a little bit of a dual purpose there when we do a containment. we're definitely going to extract water. We're going to be removing affected building materials in a Cat 2. In a Cat 1, we usually try and dry everything in place. In a Cat 2, again, we may have to remove anything that's been affected regarding building materials. We're going to disinfect the area. We always apply an antimicrobial. And then when it's all clean, we can now add our drying equipment. And then the last step to every category is that we're going to monitor while we're doing the drying. So as you can see, there are real differences going from a 1 to a 2. Taking it to a category 3, that's when people are like, no, I don't want the carpet to go, and we're like, well, unfortunately, there are just too many contaminants within the carpet. In a category 3, the source can be, you may have a stream in back of your house that overflowed. It could be just groundwater. And when you think about all of that rain that comes down and it's passing through the dirt, all the different chemicals and contaminants, bacteria that are also flowing with that water into your home. So for that reason, we need to remove the carpet and the pad. Building material that has been affected cannot stay and just be treated or just dried. We really do need to remove that. So it gives you a little bit of an idea of where we're going on a Cat 3, and you have more contaminants. So there's definitely more of a chance for it to affect health. And one thing you do need to know with the categories is that they can change very easily. And time and temperature is usually one of those factors that really changes a category from one to another. Is it really hot and humid out? It's definitely going to change it a lot faster going from a 1 to a 2 or a 2 to a 3. So just wanted to give you a little bit of an idea of it's another part of how we really do develop our drying plan and the reasoning why we do what we do. Like I was using that example from carpet. At Cat 1, we can leave it. By the time we get to a Cat 3, we are removing it. And just for your information, there is another category. It's called specialty drying. And specialty drying is basically building material that really holds on to water, bound water. So, we do come across that. Of course, plaster, things like cement, things like that are considered specialty drying. They just take so much longer for the evaporation process. But I hope you find this helpful. I hope maybe this can answer some questions on why we are doing certain things. Our technicians are awesome, and they're always there to explain what we're doing and why we're doing it. And like I said, any questions, never hesitate to give us a call. We're always here for you. I thank you very much. I hope you found this informational, and look for the rest of our videos. It's always something we like to produce, and it's really to educate you so that you have an understanding of the whys in what we do. So I thank you again very much. Bye-bye.